everyone, and welcome back to our kitchen makeover series. So far in this series, we have sanded, prepped, and primed all the kitchen cabinets that we purchased from Home Depot. Now we're starting to paint them in this delicious color called Pure White from the Sherwin-Williams collection. And we have gutted the kitchen. We've removed the flooring.
Oh crap! We're gonna be late on this bill.
It's a bill.
I'm sorry, we're gonna be late on this bill.
I'm so excited that you guys are joining us on this journey, and I hope that you take away little bits and pieces that you can do in your home. But in today's video, we are going to start spraying and rolling the doors and drawers.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke. And I will try to fix what has been broken. And take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken. And I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
Well, it's not really supposed to rain today.
Yeah, here's your. That's right. Don't worry about it.
There we go.
So that makes sense. Why you're so your stuff is protected and from the.
And I can spray.
And it's not waterproof.
I don't know if it sure it is.
Gallagher, the moles are out. The moles are out.
Yeah, they're all.
And he's just starting to bite everything in the ground.
Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's video. This week's video, we are spraying. I'm going to show you my spray setup and how I spray. Everything is what I typically use except for the spray tent. I did get that. That is a brand new addition to my spraying technique. However, it does take about 2 people to put it up, so just keep that in mind when you go and purchase one. I believe that's the medium size or the large size. I'll link it below which one I got. I got it off Amazon, so I'll link it for you guys in case you want that tent too. I feel like it's kind of large enough to put bigger things in because I do refinish bigger items. But typically, this is my setup. I did get a HVLP sprayer. I got this at Harbor Freight. I got it at Harbor Freight for a couple of reasons. Harbor Freight tends to be on the less expensive end of power tools or pneumatic tools. I don't know if it's the best. I did look at reviews, and all the reviews I have seen, this one comes pretty highly rated. I have had a Wagner sprayer before, not the newer version. I did have the older version, which I did spray walls and a kitchen previously a couple of years ago. And it lasted a couple of years. I think it finally pooped out about maybe 3 years ago, where it just couldn't handle it anymore. I think it was my fault because I did use it with some oil-based paint, and I know you can use it with oil-based paint, but it's very hard to clean, and if you don't clean it well after that, next time you do water-based paint, it does tend to gum up the gun. So I believe it was my fault that that spray gun did not last. Anywho, I did get this from Harbor Freight. This is what it looks like. I showed you how I put it together. What I like about this is the hopper is on the top. The Wagner guns tend to be on the bottom, and what I found out was you have a lot of residual paint still left in the canister, and then they have a nozzle that points down and curved. So when you want the last little bit of the paint, you do have to kind of position your gun down this way, your spray gun down this way, in order to get all those little bits, in order to get all those little bits and pieces. So that's why I like the hopper on top. You do tend to utilize all the paint that you pour in here. Now this paint that I have, it says that I don't need to thin it. We'll see. We may still need to thin it. I'm going to do as the manufacturer recommends first, and then we'll see. When I was mixing it up, the ribbon, like when you mix it up and you pull out your mixer and you watch the paint run down into the canister, it was a very thin ribbon. You want a very thin ribbon. You do need to measure it. I am better eyeballing than measuring. So here's my setup and how I fill the hopper. I just have a piece of wood right here with one of these C-clamps just on the side of the table, so I can put my spray gun like this so the hopper is up and I can pour the paint in it. Even though this is new paint and it doesn't have a lot of kind of chunks and debris in it yet, I'm still going to spray it. It is always good, best practice to filter your paint before you put it in your gun. Even though this has a filter in it, it still can kind of gum up and then then your paint will splatter, and then you have to take it all apart and clean it. It's just easier to take this extra step and just to strain it. These are not that expensive. Again, this one in particular I got at Harbor Freight, I'm sorry, Lowe's, but I did get some off of Amazon. I will link those down below. I've used those. In fact, I have a package there ready to use for this go around. They come pretty flat, so I just kind of bend it in all different places to make it round, and I just put it right in here. We're going to open up the paint, stir it, pour it in, do a little test run, and we'll see if we need to thin it. One other thing, when you spray, please protect your lungs. So all the holes, the nose holes and mouth holes, protected. I do have this particle mask with it's the organic vapor filters in. So use what you have, but protect your lungs. All right, guys, change of plans. Welcome to Missouri, where the weather always changes. It's raining, and it's a rainstorm. Can't spray outside in a rainstorm because now the tent is all wet, and I'm all wet, and the cabinets were getting all wet. But this is my day that I have scheduled to paint. So as a nurse, I am scheduled 312s, and I have to schedule this renovation makeover around my days off. So today was my day of painting, and I do have to get this done because Joe is working on the floor this weekend, and then we're going to put the cabinets in place. So it needs to have time to have one coat. Well, it needs to have time to have 2 coats and cure before we put it in. And then I also have days that I'm scheduled to paint the walls, sand and prime the walls. So nothing is going as planned today, but we can still move on to paint the cabinets. We're just not going to spray the doors. We are going to do the flat surfaces, so we're going to roll the drawers. I was going to roll them anyway. I just wanted to get the spraying done because it was supposed to be beautiful today, but it was not. It was not supposed to rain until tomorrow, so I'll have to kind of relook at the weather. We've got all this paint that's thinned down, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I need to use this paint or it's going to be wasted paint. So let's start rolling the drawer fronts and get that at least done so I can check something off my to-do list. It just pains me if I have a wasted day, because you have very few days off to get this stuff done. Anyway, let's get into rolling. You guys have seen me roll a bazillion times. I always line my tray with foil. It's just easier to clean up. That's it. 4-inch foam roller, 4-inch roller. I get these They're at all the hardware stores. This paint is pretty forgiving. It self-levels, so it won't have that orange peel effect that sometimes paint rollers will leave on the surface. So it can be rolled on effectively and it'll still look good. Okay, so the next step to this particular cabinet is our sink cabinet, and this is that drip ledge that Joe made for me for our apron front sink. I am going to stain this. I could just put a top coat and leave it be, but I do want to stain it. These are the stain samples that we made when we did Max's room makeover, when we did a DIY of his headboard. And I just kept this around because it's good to kind of keep the stuff around so you know what your stains on hand look like. So here is our floor, the floor that is going to continue on into the kitchen here. So with the drip pan, the drip ledge, I do want to get a stain that will complement this color. I don't want it to be perfect matchy, but I do want it to kind of complement. Now, and I don't want it too dark either. So here are the different types of wood. And although I like Kona here, and I do like Roanoke here, I think Roanoke is a little greeny to me. Red mahogany obviously is too red. Walnut is a little too red. Driftwood is a little gray. Java, I love Java, but it's a little too dark. I know it's showing a black on the camera, but it really is like there you go, kind of a rich red brown. So I think out of all of the stains I have, Cappuccino from Fusion Mineral Paint is probably the best choice. In fact, I know it is, because that oak, it's a red oak, so it's going to have a little bit more red tone to it. So it is going to kind of lean a little bit in the redder tones. But this is what the wood sample plank in comparison to the floor that we are going to put down into the kitchen. And then here is the live edge countertop in the coffee bar, and you can tell what the color, the wood choice is, if it would complement with it. And I think for the fair amount it does, I would say for this live edge, the red tone wood stains kind of look a little bit better than the cooler tones. But I think this is a nice marry between the warm and cool. So that's why I am going to go with Cappuccino, which is that Fusion Mineral Paint stain. So let's get to staining. You're going to start with every project with a nice clean surface. And I have already cleaned this before I taped it down. But I do want to tape like right here on the fresh paint that I did. I am a messy stainer. So I'm just going to use some tape real fast to tape off these areas. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using. This is the Fusion Mineral Paint Stain and Finish Oil all in one. So I won't have to top coat this. This will have it in it. I probably still will top coat it no matter what. I just have to wait 48 hours after I use this product to use a water-based top coat, but I do want to top coat this because in essence it will get water on it, so I don't want it to get damaged. So we're going to use this product and then we will top coat it. You can top coat over an oil-based product. You just have to wait for curing time. Well, not really curing time. You have to wait a couple of days because oil and water don't mix. So that's short end of the explanation. You just have to wait a while. Some people say 2 days, some people say 4 days. It just all depends. Oh, that's great. I'm telling you guys, the universe does not want me to do anything. I swear. Give it a good stir. Since this does have some oil particles in it, I want to make sure that I get all the great little bits and pieces from the bottom of the can immersed with everything in the can. So see, that'll be very pretty. And you just rub it on. It's as easy as that. And once you get it all rubbed on, we will come back and we will wipe it off. Gotta kind of work a little fast. And that's kind of why I'm a little messy. I'm gonna let it sit in there to kind of penetrate the fibers for a second. Just gonna get this too. Then dry clean cloth part, wipe it back. See, all done. So see the difference between pine and oak, how it stains up differently. I love this. And since this is red oak, it has a little bit of that red tinge. Pine is a little yellow, so I'll have that like kind of greeny tone. But see the difference between the wood species and stain. I love it. I'm going to continue with the underside and we'll get to the next part of this project.
So guys, the next part of this project is going to be putting all these things back together. I am so excited. Oh my goodness. So the next video, we are going to be putting the doors and drawer fronts back on the coffee bar. We're going to be bringing up the cabinets from downstairs and putting them back into the kitchen, or into the kitchen for the first time, because the floor is done, guys. I'm so excited. So we are transitioning, getting this space all completed. So if this is your jam, if you like this series, if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like the video. It tells YouTube a lot. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. You guys stay amazing and love you guys. See ya. Bye.